Hey guys, Real Estate Ryan here, and I have been in the real estate industry for almost 20 years now. And one of the things that I really honed in on and really understood was my value. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to hone in before you wait 20 years on what your value is. And one of the questions I ask myself all the time is, what would I pay myself for the role I'm taking today? So if I'm the CEO of the company, what's that worth? If I'm running a project, what's that worth? If I am investing in something and I can make a good return, what is that worth? And I want you to think of that over and over and over again. You have 168 hours every week. You have 4 weeks usually in a month. And whatever revenue you're bringing in is your value. If you were paying you for the tasks you're doing every single day for those 168 hours for those 4 weeks a month, would you pay you $8,000 a month? Would you pay you $84,000 a month? What are they worth? And a lot of times it's easier to kind of break it down this way, so I make this statement. Would you give me $10,000 if I gave you a product that was worth $100,000? And the answer almost resoundingly is a yes, right? So how many products do you have that someone could make $100,000 off of that they would give you $10,000 for? If you did one of those a month, then you'd be worth $10,000 a month. If you did 10 of those, you're going to be worth $100,000, right? So as you keep going through this, as you provide value to other people, the value you provide them is what they're going to pay you. So I want you to think of that all the way through. If you're working with a buyer and they're paying you a commission, then that's your value. If you're working with a seller and you're paying a commission, then that's your value. If you're able to buy a property, fix it up and sell it and make a profit, then that becomes your value. If you can run a real estate brokerage and scale it and grow it with cash flow, then that becomes your value. If you can exit that business, then that becomes your value. If you could do that repeated over and over or multiple times over, then that becomes your value. I want you to start looking at this industry and this business and any business this way. Whatever you're doing, if it's not leading to the revenue that you should be making, then it means you're doing the wrong things or the value you're bringing isn't there. So I want you to reflect on that, look through that, get rid of the things that aren't bringing in money, that they're not worth that value, that someone's not going to pay for, that you wouldn't pay for somebody to do. That's really the key. If you wouldn't pay someone that amount of money you want to make to do the task, then obviously it's not worth that amount, right? So if someone said they were going to come in and they were going to charge you $1,000 an hour to cut your grass, would you pay that? You'd probably say no, I wouldn't pay that. I would just cut it myself. Well, whatever the value is you would pay someone is what that task is worth. Now I want you to inverse that in your mind. Don't get this too confused. I want you to inverse that. You're going to turn it around and say, what would someone pay you for this? What would someone give you $100,000 for? What would someone give you $10,000 for? What product is it? And in the real estate industry, there are a ton of those things. A lot of times people may be in stocks. If they're in stocks, you're getting a percentage of the stock. If you're selling a product or a service, then you're getting a percentage of that product or service, right? So you can do this all the time with all different facets. You're just looking at simplifying it to make it where you're running through those tasks as quick as possible.